Hello, people. We are coming in hot with another episode of The World is Burning. If you're new here, give us a subscribe, follow the community, start leaving some comments and get the conversations going. We've got some good people who are following us who are leaving some great comments. I appreciate all that, guys. This channel, we're just looking at the economic issues everyone's going through. We're going to be following these 2024 collapses that I believe are coming in. Today, we're going to look at people struggling to live. I think this is the biggest trend the average human is going through. You look at your wallet, you look at your bank account, you don't have as much money, it's not going as far anymore. Everything costs so much. It's not just one thing that's going up in price, everything's going up in price. Let's see how people are taking it right now.
Everything na double. Economy in trouble.
It is.
In trouble. People just struggle.
They're struggling.
They struggle. What is the cost of living compared to the cost of a life when to live doesn't mean you're alive? When people are struggling to just get by due to energy bills being on the rise and the cost of living at an all-time high. But what else is expected? Of gluttonous governments that only feed the nation its neglected lies. It comes as no surprise. Inflation isn't the only thing that's flogging all of our behinds and tearing our quiet Brexit. Social unrest, energy crisis, and we're still mourning COVID deaths. Rent is increasing at an alarming rate, and this government is insisting that we just what? Wait? For what? Fate? The cost of fuel is so high that it's hard to calculate. But did you know that 46% of money spent on fuel is tax? Facts. It hasn't been this high since the height of the Second World War. What are we paying taxes for? Other than to keep the rich rich and the poor stay poor. People are getting less but paying more. The NHS workforce is under duress, underfunded and under pressure. It's getting worse.
Wow.
You know what, guys? I don't watch any of these videos before I watch them with you. I'm watching for the first time. We'll give this girl a follow. She's talented. I like how she did that way. Like a bit of poetry, a bit of singing. Shout out Simply Sayo.
And I thought it was the UK that was on its arse. Seems like these Americans are really fucking struggling with the cost of living crisis. Check this video out. Tell me it don't break your heart. How can someone earning $80,000 a year be struggling to live? This is fucked.
Made, and we are literally the brokest we've ever been.
But I'm making the most money I ever had my entire life. My husband and I, between the two of us, gross, make like over $80,000 a year. And if you told me a few years ago that $80,000 a year was not going to be enough for a family of four.
I make more than what I made back in 2015. But I am still literally living paycheck to paycheck.
I have to work 60 hours a week and make $80,000 a year to make ends meet. That's insane. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it.
Financially, I don't understand anymore. I don't understand how I make $34 an hour and I can't function. I can't pay my bills.
Yeah, it's rough out there, guys. It's so rough. Look at here. Meanwhile, UK wages have gone up 60% since the 80s. America has gone up under 10%. We are hurting over here. Yeah, the wage increase is just not keeping up.
In today's economy, do you think a couple that brings home $100,000 is enough to support a small family of like 3 to 4 people? I asked this because I made a post yesterday about how Americans are really struggling, and it was really sad and eye-opening to me to see the amount of people who said, I make 6 figures now, yet we're still struggling.
6 figures doesn't go
and
far these days.
I don't mean is it enough to buy like luxuries. I just mean, is $100,000 enough to live comfortably without having to live paycheck to paycheck? I remember like 12 years ago, my mom told me about this couple I knew who were making like a combined salary of $110,000. And at that point in my life, 20s, I'm thinking, what a dream, what a goal it was for me to be able to say one day that my husband and I were making like $110,000. And now here I am in 2023, and I'm like, it's not the dream life anymore. Like if someone would have told me my husband and I would be making what we're making and still having to cut back on necessities, I would have been like, you have to be kidding me. Like, we didn't even go on a vacation this year because the last thing I'm going to do is put a vacation on a credit card, but we didn't have extra money to bring our kids on a vacation, and we both have good jobs. So if you think $100,000 is enough, I'm curious, what's your location? Do you not have children? Like, why do you think it's enough? Because I'm telling you, from yesterday's post on here, the comments say different, and the comments say that a majority of Americans are really, really struggling, and I mean hardworking Americans. So
Yeah, and it's people with jobs. It's not like people don't have jobs and they're struggling. These are people on good wages. Look at this one here. 100K is the new 50K. It's Bidenomics.
I'm struggling with the cost of living crisis. This is the biggest thing I'm getting messages about all the time. But isn't the cost of living crisis over? No, and there's only two solutions. The first is that all the prices come down, which isn't going to happen. Those prices are
never
baked
happening.
in. It's like if I sold you this cup every single week. Price is £10, but I end up raising it to 12, and you continue to still buy this lovely cup. As a business, why would I then voluntarily lower my prices if you're still paying at the higher price? So we can write off the first way of fixing it, but the second way is building financial tolerance. When I say tolerance, I don't mean every single year when you go to your Christmas dinner and you tolerate certain members of family. I mean the type of tolerance where you're earning enough money that if costs go up, you can afford it. Now, it's easier said than done to be earning more money, but waiting around in the hopes that prices will come down, then you're just basically asking to struggle. Now, you can take as many government support programs as possible, but that's not going to solve the issue. Let's be very honest, no one's interested in helping you, except for me. Now, I'm not doing it as fake altruism or as a charity. I'm doing it because I'm a businessman and I need to make a lot of money. And I can't have you financially struggling. The more money you earn, the more money I earn. That's my brutal...
Yeah, this guy sounds like a bit of an advert, so we'll leave this one, but look at this here now, Certi. I now got 3 jobs just to maintain a normal lifestyle until the economy is sorted. And this is what a lot of people are doing, guys. They're making up that delta, they're making up that the money that they're not making with just another job. And it's like, come on, guys. Can the government not sort it and sort some of these prices out and kind of just put a cap on things so people don't have to be working every hour of their life?
If you have any form of social media, you're well aware that every single person you probably know is struggling. And it's sad because the price of living continues to go up and wages stay the same. Everybody is working their absolute tails off and no one can make enough money to get by. And if they are, they're barely getting by. The issue is that we're not told what to do. We're living in a time right now that no one has really ever seen before. Debt is at an all-time high. Inflation is literally through the roof. The only option is to have a second and a third stream of income. And to start and have your own businesses. My mom and I created something called the Break Free Life. We equip people with the resources and tools to break free from toxins, debt, anything that is essentially holding them back from living the life that they know and deserve.
Yeah, and this is where I think it's going, guys. I think people are going to have to rely more on starting their own little business or having something that just brings a bit of extra cash in just so that they're not falling behind. We'll do one more than get out.
For thousands around the UK who are already feeling the pinch.
How am I going to afford £3,000, £4,000? We don't earn that much a month.
This is what the cost of living crisis looks like. A choice between feeding your kids or heating your home.
Oh, it's terrible.
A choice Dawn is faced with day in and day out.
The more you're worrying about how am I going to pay this, the worse you actually feel. And then an announcement like this comes along and you feel even worse. And you're worrying even more, and it's a bit of a nightmare.
And today that nightmare continued. The Chancellor's statement didn't include anything to benefit those on universal credit. Dawn says the £300 a year she'll save from the national insurance changes is non-existent.
We're paying that out already, or we are going to be from the looks of it, with the amount that fuel and food and everything's going up. And it just feels like no matter what we're trying, we're not getting anywhere. We're not, and we're actually getting worse and worse off.
And that's it, guys. It's just going to be getting worse and worse and worse. Leave me a comment. Are you struggling? How are you finding it right now? I always love to hear from the community. Yeah, Yeah, it's not getting any better, I don't think. So yeah, leave me a comment. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Bye.